It lets the beef do the talking. I really like that. We should stop talking about sausages though, because there's just no way I can't make weird, like, it's sounding weird. It's getting weird, I know. Hey guys, I'm Iggy Azalea, and today I'm gonna talk to InStyle about some of my items that are most meaningful to me. You guys are not gonna like this. Some people won't understand it, and that's okay. But I love Australian sausages. These aren't Australian sausages, for the record. They're a placeholder. I get my Australian sausages straight from Australia. My brother, he flies in with them on the plane and they're frozen, and I have a big stash of them. So like about once a month, somebody flies in from Australia and they give me a stash of sausages. Growing up, like in Australia, we have sausage sizzles, and I love caramelized onions with an Australian grass-fed beef sausage on a piece of nice Australian white bread with some ketchup. I love it. We have a place called Bunnings Warehouse. It's kind of like Home Depot. And a lot of the time when you go there, they have a sausage sizzle out the front. A little like Costco and getting hot dogs for Americans. You may go just for the hot dog. You may go to Bunnings just for the sausage sizzle. And that's something I really miss when I'm, living in America. I miss the sausage sizzles. So I am importing the sausage sizzles. Whatever our cows are eating over there, it's just maybe the grass is greener on the other side. Don't call me a glizzy gobbler. And if you do, I don't care. I will not quit. I love them. My next product that I cannot live without really is fragrance, but Diptyque is my favorite fragrance. So Diptyque would be very essential. I'm kind of addicted, I'd say, to burning these candles. I burn them every single night. My room probably looks like a church. I like to think of scents like in terms of scent memory and you associating a scent and then thinking of that thing. So I like to keep my house always kind of smelling the same so that when I get back home after I've been traveling for a long time, it just feels extra cozy and I get that feeling of being home. I think one of these candles is maybe like $250. They last a long time. I probably only go through like maybe 2 a week, I think. I feel it's reasonable. My mom would always say that's about right. She always used to say when I was little, I have champagne taste on a beer budget. The next thing that I really love, that I cannot live without, that is essential to me, is my son, Onyx. This is a picture of him on his 4th birthday. I love my son so much. He's my whole universe. Like, if I don't see him, just even between school and the afternoon, I just miss him so much. Moms would understand. He's my absolute most favorite thing in the whole entire world, and he always will be. The best part about being Onyx's mom is he's very kind to everyone. When I go to pick him up from school or at parties and they say like, oh, your son Onyx is so kind. He's really nice at sharing. It feels really good as a parent to know that like your child is just a good kid on their own. It makes me feel really proud of him. I think one of my favorite things to do with him though would be painting. I love drawing. It's a hobby that I always did when I was a kid. My dad was a comic artist, so I would draw a lot and connect with my dad in that way. And so it's nice to like full circle get to teach my son how to draw certain things. He's always asking how to draw things and I try to piece it together for him. And it's cool seeing his skill grow. And I love drawing with my son. It's my favorite thing. The next item that I really cannot live without are my slides and my socks. These are my actual house slides. Don't judge how beat up they are, but yeah, these are my real ones. I have humongous feet. It's true, I'm tall. I have this thing with my feet where I don't like to walk on the ground ever unless I'm at least wearing socks. I like to get my pedicure every week and get my feet scrubbed, and I love like when my feet have like fresh oil and they're really smooth. I sleep in socks in my bed. Like I don't even like to get up and go to the bathroom and not at least have my socks on, even though I do think I have cute feet for the record. But yeah, I'm really addicted to socks. I was very fortunate that socks and slides have become a little bit cooler over the years, so I've been able to blend in a little bit more. But yeah, it's, even if it was the lamest thing in the world, I wouldn't care. I don't care because I want to have cute feet no matter what. Oh, I'm team crew socks. I am team crew socks. Ankle socks, they always slip lower than your sneaker and give you blisters. So I've never really been a fan. I'm happy crew socks are back in now, if you didn't know. Also, it's a way people can tell you're old. If you're old like me, get out of those no-shows. You're giving yourself away. These are grapes, and they're very meaningful to me. Grapes are one of my most prized possessions because I snack on them all day long. They have to be chilled, though. I put them in the fridge and I make them really, really cold, or sometimes even the freezer. They're just my favorite snack. I eat them at 2 o'clock in the morning or 8 a.m., whenever. I'm obsessed with green grapes. I love them. They're my addiction. My next item that is very essential to me is my exfoliation mitt. I really love taking baths. I really like to exfoliate in the bath once a week on a Sunday. I exfoliate my whole body. And these sorts of mitts, they're just my favorite kind. All mitts are not equal. Some you really have to scrub and it can scratch your skin and hurt you. But this kind, the Korean kind of exfoliation mitt, I love them because you can just swipe like this once you've been sitting in a bath for a little bit and your skin just rolls off. And in case you haven't already noticed from my sock obsession, I'm really obsessed with having really smooth and really soft skin. And my skincare routine, that's a nice way of putting it, my addiction. My last item is a bit of a cheat. The other essential thing I cannot live without is my garden, but I just have this one little plant because I can't take my garden with me. But I am very obsessed with indoor house plants and my garden. I love it so much. I am from a really rural area in Australia, so I grew up on a lot of acres with a lot of trees, and I just love the sound of the wind blowing through trees or crickets at night and frogs and other creepy crawly bugs and things people might not like. I love all those sounds. I love birds flying and swooping through the trees in the backyard, and I really like to sit in my garden at nighttime and just think and be creative. And it's not as good as the sound of the ocean, but I think it's the second best sound in the world. It's very relaxing. And so that's why I love my garden and I need it. Whenever I move or buy a house, it always has to have a gigantic garden or it just isn't the place for me because I want to feel like I live in a rainforest. I live in Miami at the moment, so my garden is very tropical. I have a lot of frangipani trees, which are my favorite because growing up in Australia, they're everywhere. And so it's very nostalgic. The smell of it reminds me of walking to school in the morning. I would always walk past a lot of frangipani trees and that smell just takes me back and makes me feel like I'm in Australia. And my other favorite tree I have in my garden, I would say, is I have a lot of lang lang trees. I think they're so beautiful. They have these really nice willowy branches that sway in the breeze, and they have these pretty yellow flowers. They smell so good, a little bit like jasmine. They actually use those flowers in a lot of perfumes, most famously Chanel No. 5. So I always call them the Chanel No. 5 trees. That's it for me. These are all my favorite items. Thanks InStyle again for having me, and let me know if any of these are your favorites too in the comments. Bye guys. Mwah.